Grottos and tortillas, limos and stingers. You are now tuned in to the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Jen Diz.
And that's Mike TV.
This week we're celebrating Disney California Adventure's 25th anniversary. We talk about events attended, the energy that day, and how far DCA has come with a look back at the memories, glow up, and milestones.
I especially love today's, I don't know what we really even call it, the very, very first line of our intro, because none of these things make any sense. But if you say them all together, you're going to think of old school DCA, right? Grottos and tortillas, limos and stingers. Like, what?
That golden stinger. And a lot of times our intro doesn't even make sense until the people who are watching or listening get through the whole episode. And then they're
I
like,
love it.
oh, that's why they said those
Oh,
weird
now
things.
makes sense. And
Uh,
it's not the golden singer. You're probably thinking of the golden zephyr.
Whoops.
And instead, what did it
It's
used to look like?
the
A
orange
big ass
stinger.
orange stinger. Yep.
What?
Well, hello
Wait,
everybody.
wait.
This weekend. Oh,
Breaking news.
breaking
Breaking
news.
news.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh. Okay, so as we're recording today, the Seattle Seahawks were in Disneyland because it's the day after Super Bowl and they won. How exciting, bro. Oh my God.
Sports ball.
Sports.
Yay.
It's always cute though when they do the little Disneyland parade because they start showing it on all the news the next day. So I'm just like, oh, it's Disneyland everywhere. So that was cute.
You know what's funny about sports is that it's very similar. Like there's a fine line between what turns me on about sports and turns me off about sports, right? It's like the
Oh,
camaraderie. I love. I love. I think it's adorable. All these strangers high-fiving each other. It doesn't happen in regular life. However, the like the like I don't know, what's it called?
well,
Like
you know what
the
we always say on this show?
testosterone is too much for me.
We love to say our podcast honors fandoms, and that
It does.
you like the fandom part of
I don't have to
the
pretend that I
sports.
have a fandom though. So, anyways, all right.
Yeah.
Yes, congratulations, Seattle Seahawks, on the win. I actually know there's quite a few Disney holics I can think of that are Seahawks fans and do not live in Seattle. So
Oh,
they are one of those
popular.
teams that have transcended their location. So that must
Nice.
be good. Well, speaking of Super Bowl Sunday, I had the day booked to go to
Ooh.
Disneyland because I was like, oh my God, Super Bowl Sunday is the best day ever to go to Disneyland. And I screwed up because guess what Sunday also was? The 25th anniversary of DCA.
Dun 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 dun.
And in my head, once I had realized this, I was like, it's fine, I have my reservation. But I have it starting in Disneyland Park. And by the time I realized that, I could not switch it over. I was trying for like 48 hours straight, hitting refresh, refresh, like literally throughout the whole days. And even had Fargo jump in and help me as a third party, like trying to click the button for me at the same time. Where I remember we're in line for Haunted Mansion, we're both just clicking away, trying to get me switched over to DCA. Could not do it. Finally, at like 11:50, when we're walking back into the apartment from a long day at Disneyland, we were able to get the reservation switched over the night, like a
Interesting. Is
couple
that
minutes
are
before
people do they cancel
Sunday.
by midnight? Is that the rule over at Disneyland?
That's the rule. Yep.
Oh,
And it really does
interesting.
work. It's worked for me a couple times. Like just wait till the very last minute because I had Disneyland pop up a million times because it was sold out for both parks. Disneyland kept popping up, but not once for DCA until
Now, did you
11:50 the night
have
before.
it booked because also DCA's 25th or just because it was Super Bowl?
Just because it was Super Bowl. Like I
Oh.
I had originally booked Super Bowl, not realizing that it was also the same day as California Adventure's anniversary. And when I realized it, I was just like, oh, I have it booked already, no problem. But I didn't think about the fact that I already picked a
Yeah.
starting park and you
Wrong
can't park
park.
hop to 11. And if they do anything special, then I can't like get over there, right? And I'll just talk about that for a second. I was curious to, again, right? We've had some burns in our past of these anniversaries for a long time. It was like every time there was a big milestone, Disneyland would do, or Disney parks would do something cool, right? They do something in the mornings at opening. And this time, I hadn't heard anything. Nobody seemed to know what was going on. Like cast members wouldn't really give me a yes or a no, which I understand. Um, but I was seeing things on social media, like both Bob Iger and Josh D'Amaro were in the parks over here on the West Coast. So I'm like, okay, they're here this weekend. Like that could be either just like, okay, let's get some
With Jag,
FaceTime.
right? Wasn't Jag with them, Soren?
Yes, exactly. And then he, like, come on. Why he's of course he's there for the 25th anniversary, right? Like in my head, for sure. But there was
It's
a
an
few
opening
other
attraction.
things. Yeah, opening day attraction, my goodness. So, turns out that 2 days before the anniversary was when they switched back over to Soarin' over California. So that could be another reason he was there that day. And they also had a fan event that Saturday that he was doing a speaking part at. So
Oh,
many reasons
interesting.
for him to be there, but he was nowhere to be found on the actual anniversary, and I was so sad. What else? I think, oh, we're moving closer together. Okay. You guys watching YouTube always get to see us in our little adventures. Um,
Behind
so
the scenes craziness.
that's right. What else can I say about the day at DCA? So I got there for opening and they gave out commemorative maps. Again, if you're on YouTube, I'm showing it off right now. It's like the original
I
opening.
love it.
You
The
see it? Nope.
letters, the
Yeah.
OG California gold letters.
Yep. And then when you open it, it tells you a little bit about this special celebration for the day. They have the new merch, they have some specialty food items. Mickey and Minnie are wearing Sunshine Plaza um, special outfits for the day. And then
Mm.
once you open the map, they have a regular map, as we all know and love, our little maps here. And then when you open it all the way up, like what do they call that? Like centerfolds. When you open the
Centerfolds.
big piece out, I can't show this, but it's the background on our YouTube as well. It's the original California adventure map. So that was kind of cool. Little nice souvenir to have.
That's a good one.
Um, and they also gave away some of these pins, which are like the I'm celebrating pins. And it says I'm celebrating DCA's 25th.
Cute.
And the interesting part is that you can feel it, which means they just cut out some vinyl lettering, probably last minute, and made some pins. And turns out these were a hot commodity. There was a bunch of people online freaking out that they didn't get one and they were there early and all this stuff. I don't know what was going on. So I guess they didn't make that many of these. So I'm going to hold on to this one. But just an interesting moment. When we walked in, they had the streets lined, which I always love, with cast members welcoming you in, and we're all saying happy anniversary to each other. It's adorable. And then at the end of that line, this is my favorite part. There was a group of cast members dressed up like Luigi's tires. It was so
Oh,
cute because
that's a
that's a
cute
throwback
one.
too. It's gone now, so it was very, very cute. Um, and that was, yeah, that was it. That was all they really
I've
did.
never been to, as far as I can remember, like a non-Disneyland Magic Kingdom anniversary, like another park. That
Right.
is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Why? Why haven't we gone to like Epcot's such and such or any of these
Not
things?
I don't know. Maybe we also just I mean, it's you weren't always living right by Disney World, so it's a little harder. So we went for the big
True.
one for the 50th.
Yeah.
Um, I've been to a ton of them at Disneyland though, like all the big numbers for Disneyland.
Oh, I mean
Ooh,
just like a not the castle park. I've never
oh,
been
non
to
Castle Park.
to like the not main park of the land.
Yeah, I think the last Epcot anniversary, whichever one that was 40 years, I think they did something decent over there, I think. Even like when they open new things. Do you remember when they opened Space 220, that restaurant? They had like
Yeah,
a
they
whole stage and panel.
they had like a little press conference outside of the restaurant.
Yeah,
I do think that means the next not weird park, but the next non, what do you call those? What do you call like
non-Castle Park. They even
not
called it that in
Castle Park? Yeah.
the
Because
panel
the
that I
other
went
thing
to.
with Magic Kingdom at Disney World is they celebrate that as Disney World's anniversary, like the whole property.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess every park was celebrating alongside, whatever. But now I'm thinking that could be interesting to go to like a Hollywood Studios Big Bash. If there's a Big Bash, like you
If they
saw,
do it,
yeah,
they didn't
you
even
saw
do it
there
for
was
Disney
nothing.
World. So
Yeah. And
I don't
DCA, like
think
you're
so.
learning here, a
Yeah.
non-castle park.
And that's where I was like, you couldn't just like have a little speech, some little something, son? No.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I thought each park has their own president or something. There could have been the president of the resort
Right.
or the park.
Yep. And all those people were in
Kimmy.
town. There's like even like I saw Bill Rogers and Camille Dixon, who are the voices of Disneyland and DCA. Like they could have done something cool. Like, you know, like any of these people like could have done something really neat that only took like 10 minutes or something. I don't know. It just seemed like kind of sad. And I actually spoke to this cast member the night before at the guest services in DCA, and he was like, "No, I don't think they're doing anything." And he looked so sad. And and I just went, "Aw." And he goes, "Yeah, and it's a shame. We've come so far. We're such a better park now." He like really sincerely was like so sad about it. I wanted to like give him a hug. And then he was like, we're being outshined by Disneyland's 70th because it's still going. He's like, they don't celebrate their anniversary for a month or like have like a birthday week. They have like 18 months or whatever,
Yeah.
15 to 18 months of celebration. I'm like, I know. So we're still celebrating it. And in fact, when I went down the street with all the cast members waving, the first thing I see when I get to the end of the street is the giant 70th anniversary celebration, like little signage that they put up. And I was like,
Oh,
okay,
you know what's interesting about that?
Disneyland
Maybe
Resort
it is
again.
similar, yeah, to Disney
Yeah.
World. They're celebrating the whole thing because even Carthay Circle, the facade sometimes has a projection of the 70 thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, you're celebrating the parking lot that has been there since 1955, which is now DCA.
I feel bad because like 25 is the first really big one. I guess 10 can be a good one. Then 25, then it jumps all the way to 50, right? Like truly, like it's like, okay, the big next number is 50. So they have no 25 years. And then there was a lot of cast members saying that they're likely, this is all rumor has it, Adele,
Rumor
but
has it,
like,
rumor has it.
but they're all thinking that they're saving money for the 75th, probably. And they're going to go, supposedly, they're supposed to go real big on the 75th for Disneyland
I
Resort.
guess. But you know what? Like these, like you said, rumor has it. I don't know if I think we as fans think that way, but I don't think like the penny pushers think like, let's save it for the 75th. Like they're gonna have whatever budget they have that year and they have to figure it out type of thing.
And they didn't have to go super hard. They could have
Yeah.
just done, they have merch, they have specialty food items, and Mickey and Minnie have a different outfit. They did the little commemorative map, and then just have a little dedication. How much money would that cost? Like
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
for them, right?
Hmm.
Like just nothing. They should have had Whoopi Goldberg come out as Califia.
There
Stop
you
it.
go.
I would have died.
Painted in
Or Neil
gold, just like
Patrick
the
Harris
statue.
and do his California Screamin' speech. Oh my God, I love it.
What's that?
Anyway,
He did
he did,
the
yeah, he was like the voice on the roller coaster way
Oh.
back. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So poor DCA, but it was still lovely. It was a beautiful morning. I also did not get very much sleep all weekend because we were going like hard on Disney all weekend. So after it was like 10:30, 11, I just left. So I didn't even get to like hang out in Disneyland during Super Bowl. So then my original plans just like didn't even happen. But I threw to the wind because I'm like, I'm coming here during weeknights now on the off season, and it's already beautiful every single time. So I don't actually need this day. It's not that special because I just go whenever now. So
Well, you know
anyway,
what? This man came to my house today to purchase a chair that I sold on Facebook Marketplace. And he said that he went to Hollywood Studios on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, thinking it would be empty. And he said everyone else had the same idea. He said it was
ah,
more packed than usual, and he left.
that
He
sucks.
like left by noon or something.
It was definitely light over here. I checked the wait times a couple times from my bed when I was resting. It was
It
very
also
light,
could
but it's
be
okay.
because on East Coast time it starts later.
Oh
3 hours.
yeah.
So some people might have still gone for like the beginning of the day.
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that. Three
Mhm.
o'clock. Wait, what time? It started here at 3
Six.
o'clock, right?
6 o'clock here.
Yeah. So three
Yeah.
o'clock getting home by three and barbecuing and all that stuff is
Yeah.
probably a lot more rough than six. Yeah, good point. The last thing about being in DCA around the 25th anniversary, now this was like a couple nights before the actual day of, but I got my one of my favorite pieces of merch. Ah, so
Mickey's Fun
cute.
Wheel. I mean, Pixar Pal Around.
Ah. You guys may have
Now,
seen the
it's at a
popcorn bucket.
popcorn bucket. Okay.
It's a popcorn bucket, and I want to have a discussion with you about this. But I have to tell you something I did not realize about this. It lights up and it
So
works with the
cute.
parades, both Paint the
What?
Night and World of Color.
What do you mean? It syncs with
It
it?
syncs with it.
That
You can like
is
bring it
impressive.
and it'll sync. And there's a whole little booklet here that tells you about it. And they have an AI home version too. I've not played with it yet. So,
Wait, does it also change
so
with
cute.
World of Color?
Yeah,
Okay, that one makes sense. Paint the Night is random.
I know. I was like, is it just like a sound thing? You know how some of them are triggered, like the lights triggered by sound, but
Oh.
supposedly not. Everyone's saying it's like an RFID thing, but I haven't gotten to look too into that yet. But yeah, it's really, really cute. It was $50 and I'm happy I paid it. It's so adorable. I'm fine with
Oh,
it.
I thought they could get away with more, charging more for that.
Really? For a popcorn bucket, I would fall over.
They're
That's
the
the most I've seen is that one in the Mickey Mouse for $50.
Really? I always thought they were like $70 for some reason. I don't know.
No. I think even those Main Street Electrical Parade ones that came out, those were like in mid 30s and people are losing their mind. Or maybe
Wow.
40.
I feel like the
Yeah,
movie
it's a lot.
theater ones are, I don't know, like 50, 40, 50.
I mean, the movie theater's already, I mean, so is
Mm.
Disneyland though. All of it's so inflated, right? Oh yeah, our
But
popcorn at Disneyland's way cheaper than movie theaters, huh?
it is. But you love your new item, and that's all that matters.
I do. It's so freaking cute. You know, sometimes you buy something and you're like, "God, why'd I buy this? It was $50." I'm not saying that at all. It's so adorable. Very happy about it. But I want to talk to you about this for a second. Because one thing I realized is like, this is a popcorn bucket I'm holding in my hands for all you YouTube people right now. Do will I ever, one time in its lifetime of being here, use it for popcorn?
I think you have to do it on purpose. You have to have the
I have to
will
like
to do it.
force myself.
Yeah, I've done it with popcorn buckets because I'm thinking it has to be a popcorn bucket, so I'm going to do it. Like I have a Fantastic Four car popcorn bucket that doesn't even make sense for it to be a popcorn bucket, but I filled it with popcorn because I wanted it to be as as intended. I feel like there was another one where I did that and it's just forced. Oh, no, I got a sipper. I got a couple of sippers where I have not yet put liquid in there and I thought, would I ever? I don't know, it's weird and hard to
Right.
clean.
They're like display items, right? So now here's the thing. If Disney had marketed this and it's not a popcorn bucket, they don't have a space for it. They take out that weird circle container in the middle that we aren't using anyway and just make it a toy and put it in the toy section. Would you be excited about it?
I don't think people would buy it.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
Even if it literally looked exactly the same, but did not have a hole for popcorn and was labeled as a popcorn bucket, I don't think so. And
Yeah,
they could
yeah.
not charge $50 for it either. It'd probably be like
Well,
25, 30.
I know the perfect I know the perfect similar thing. I think about this all the time when I'm
Okay.
buying something. Whenever I'm getting Happy Meal toys, I collect them. I would not buy them at all if I saw them on a shelf. And I wouldn't go crazy for them and I wouldn't like keep getting another meal just to try to get the other one. But there's something about the rush knowing everyone's
That's the
collecting.
collecting.
Yeah, like you're collecting a
Oh,
certain
okay.
type of item.
Do you think it's because other people are collecting that gets you excited, or is it that you have to keep trying to get the full, like it's almost like a blind
Oh, I
box?
would say
I
no.
just realized that.
For Happy Meals, I'm usually not doing the blind box. Maybe there's like one that I want or something, but it's more like I just think it's cute when there's the tie-in. Like I'm like, "Oh, it's a McDonald's toy version of yada yada yada." And I'm like, "Those are so cute." And I like them. So I
It's
guess if
true.
people are like, "Oh, it's the popcorn bucket version of something." I don't know. That's an interesting one.
There's another flip side to that. Now, if they were to take again the exact same thing, not change anything about it except for taking the popcorn hole out, and sold it at Disneyana, it could probably be priced higher as a collectible to put on a shelf, which is what we are actually doing with these things.
True. And there's also like availability of it changes it. There's something about popcorn buckets and seeing this is what Disney wants, right? Seeing on social media like the lines
Hmm.
for the popcorn buckets. It's different than seeing like everyone running for a certain toy inside of the Emporium. I don't know. It's just different and it makes you feel like, oh, you have to get it. There's going to be no more left. And one time when they tried to make it better, I did think it ruined it a little bit. They had, I think it was a Figment bucket, and they did it so organized that like you had to purchase in advance and you got a ticket, then you had to go into a warehouse to get it. It wasn't even a popcorn bucket. And I
Yeah,
thought,
there's not even popcorn there. I got mine with a bag of chips.
bag of chips. So then I'm like, okay, that that kind of made it less exciting because I thought everyone was trying to get there wasn't going to be a um enough for everybody, but they made sure there was, which is nice, but it also I don't know. I don't know. This is the mind of a Disney collector.
Isn't it so fascinating though? I was just like tripping out on that. I was like, I'd probably would spend more for that at Disney and I would only spend less on it at a kid's toy thing. And I still not like I would probably do it because I think a little bit differently than that. But like I might not even find out about it. That's the real catch, right? Because it's not trending
Uh
and it's not on social media. Like if this came out in the toy section, like probably wouldn't even know it's there. So,
yeah. And they probably wouldn't do like they did a social media post Disneyland about this, but they probably don't for non-popcorn bucket toys.
right.
I don't think they do.
It's super fascinating to me, and I think it's so funny. I looked at all the popcorn buckets I have. Not one of them would I ever want to use for popcorn, and they're all just like displayed out on my shelves, like collector's items, and they truly aren't. They're like
And you
cheap
know,
plastic.
it also makes me think of the theme park, whereas sometimes you'll get a souvenir and maybe it's of the character you like, but this is like also very Disneyland. So you get the character or the design you like plus a Disneyland souvenir.
It's true.
I'm convincing myself that there's a reason why. And I think I've only purchased like one popcorn bucket before, but they are
Nice.
cute and I could see it becoming an addiction too.
I have, I think I have three Star Wars ones, and then I have the two Electrical Parade ones, and now the Mickey's Fun Wheel. That's it. So I didn't go too hard on popcorn buckets either, but
Oh,
that's
you know,
over like 10 years.
the other popcorn bucket I got was from the movie theater. It was a Wicked for Good music box, and I also put popcorn in it, and it greased up everything in this
Oh yeah,
mirrors.
it'll destroy the whole thing.
But
I'll never forget
I
the.
needed
Oh, go ahead.
to. I
Sorry.
just felt like I needed to, and I ate it in the
Yeah.
theater with the popcorn.
Oh, this will be my popcorn
This
bucket if it
will
likes
be.
it or not. I remember the first item I bought that they handed something separately to me, and it was a Country Bear Jamboree like moonshine mug. It was like a big it was
Oh,
like a big bulky mug. It was a sipper, and you're supposed to put like a soda in it or whatever, but they just gave me a cup of soda with the thing in a bag. And I was
yeah.
like, I felt kind of like, well, what is even the point? But then I was also happy because it's not freaking sticky. Because you always have to like go rinse in the water fountains or the
Clean it
sink in the
out.
bathroom,
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is actually fine. And that it never changed after that. So I guess I have a sipper also. I just realized that
There
somewhere.
you go.
Goodness gracious. So yeah, so that was DCA's 25th anniversary in the park. But I did some other things the weekend of that I wanted to mention. One was I went to a glorious Gumball Rally weekend kickoff event. This is put on by Mice Chat
Oh.
and Dusty Sage, who is a whole personality. We love Dusty Sage. He's a Disney e-ticket,
Uh-huh.
Disney fan e-ticket. And they have this thing called the Gumball Rally, and I'm gonna not talk about this right now because I actually got to talk to Dusty Sage, and he says he wants to come on the show.
What?
So very cool. So I'm gonna
OMG.
save it to talk
Wow.
with him about it. But
Okay.
needless to say, he invited me to come back the next morning at 6:45 in the morning. And you know me, I don't get up in the morning, but I do for Disney. So I went to the actual kickoff of the Gumball Rally in the morning as well. They had an event the night before. And I now want to go to every single Gumball Rally. So, Mike, if you're available next year, it's only once a year, and we just missed this one. So,
I
you have
have
some time to think about it.
no idea what a gumball rally is.
Okay, good. We'll talk about it in a future episode. You'll learn all about it because it
Oh,
also,
okay.
I always thought the Gumball Rally, and it might have been this at one point. I'm going to make sure to ask him. But I always thought the Gumball Rally was just a competition to see who can get in the most rides in one day. And then they have to like prove it by taking photos and stuff.
It has
And
nothing to do with the candy?
no, it's from something. It's from like a movie or something.
Oh,
It's a
I thought
reference to
this
some
was just
movie.
a fun non-Disney like race with gumball candy put on by a Disney holic.
No, oh yes, but not the candy part.
Gumball rally. All right.
But
Well,
the group of people who were involved in this are were so enthusiastic. It just like seemed like it was fun. They kept talking about how people have like all these endless friendships that they've created through going to the Gumball Rally over the years. I'm like, that's just cute. So I really want to get involved in that soon, or I guess next year, because that's as soon as I can. But looking forward to it and looking forward to having Dusty Sage come and tell us a little bit more and get us a little educated. And then the other thing I went to, this was a D23 spotlight series called Disney California Adventures 25th Anniversary Celebration. This was on Saturday and it was held in one of the ballrooms at the Disneyland Hotel. And it was basically a panel of, I think there was maybe a total of 10 panelists. And the first group was a selection of panelists that were there for the opening, like the very beginning
ooh.
creation of DCA. And then the second group was any imagine like it was the Imagineers who have all worked on iterations of DCA. Like, oh, I was there when we
Oh,
added Bugs Land, or I was there when we added Buena Vista Street, or I was there when we recently changed whatever. So you got to hear about like a ton of stories through the whole 25 years of DCA. So it was really, really cool. It was about 2 hours long, and we got there
wow.
an hour early, so we were sitting in seats for 3 hours on minimal sleep. So that was a little rough because just no matter how interesting a panel is, it's still hard to sit through,
Yeah,
right?
sometimes those eyelids just start getting heavier and
I hate
heavier.
it because I'm so engaged and like I want to hear it all, but I'm just like, oh my God, fighting myself. Um, so a little bit about the panel. They opened the panel with one of the DCA commercials that were like announcing that it's coming that everybody could see on their, TVs or whatever at home. And it was so funny. Everybody should go look it up. It's like characters from Disneyland saying, "Look, we've got neighbors." And they're like spying over the hedges with like binoculars and stuff. And they're like, "What's going on over there? It used to be a parking lot." And they're saying all this cute stuff that we'll all get. It was adorable. It was a fun way to like kick off the event. And they talked to us a little bit about um like I feel like a lot of it as Disney holics we already knew, right? But it was just like cool to hear it again and a little more um uh so what I'm looking for. Like they elaborated on the storytelling part of like how they got to and from these different
Oh.
selections. But overall, the idea of California Adventure is that it was supposed to depict the California dream, where dreamers come to invent new things.
California dreaming, California dreamers, California dreaming. There's so many times
On
that's
such a
referenced,
sunny day,
so
'cause
it
it was
makes
hot.
sense.
Yeah, and I always looked at it as like this is just a showcase of all the cool shit we have in California. But it's not. It was like showing like these are all the things that we've
Yeah,
done
because I
in
remember like it was
California.
supposed to be like the gold rush, and there was like different things, the farming, the great farms of blah 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 before
All
Bugsland,
the aviation that's happened
aviation,
here,
the
soaring.
wineries, Rocky
Yep.
Mountains, the national parks. There was a TV show that was a knockoff of Saved by the Bell called California Dreamin'. Do you remember this?
No.
No, it's like teenagers at a high school, but they all lived in like LA and did like summer beach jobs.
Hilarious. No, I missed that one. Darn. Um, but I think just the way they were explaining it, it really made it feel like, oh, we're trying to tell the story about Disney also, right? Because like this is a place where dreamers, aka Walt Disney, came to invent new things too. And it's pretty cool how that tied in a little closer to what I had already just assumed on my own what DCA was all about.
And I think
Um,
you'll get to it, but it became more focused on Walt's dream of California
yeah, when they did
as it
the
evolved.
Buena Vista Street revamp through, um, there was also this weird. Do you remember when they changed from Disney California Adventure to Disney's, or it started off as Disney's California Adventure and moved into Disney California Adventure?
Yeah, it was when that big old infusion of money came, and then they were like, we're rebranding, and it's now Walt's version of walking into California. I'm like,
Do you
okay.
remember how, like, what I forgot? So I wanted to see if you know, like,
Oh.
what that means to take the possession off of Disney, because it almost sounds like if it's Walt's, it should be even more so possessive than before.
I think they just wanted to be the different one that wasn't used, and then they're just gonna say, okay,
They're like, we're just gonna make up a
it's a new
story.
point of view now because it's yeah, whatever was
Disney
added at one
California
point.
Adventure. And it's hilarious because every single person I know that is not like super hardcore about making sure they say the right words says Disney's California Adventure still.
Okay, pop quiz. What's Hollywood Studios?
Hollywood Studios.
No,
Does it say
it
Disney at the beginning?
yeah, that's what we always say DHS. Do you ever say DHS?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
DHS.
Uh, which
Is
is
it
also Department of Homeland
Disney's? Is
Security.
it Disney's
I
or
don't
Disney?
know. I actually don't know.
How are you gonna pop quiz me and not even have an answer?
I know, I know.
You better look
Um,
that up.
okay, so DCA rebranded, changed its possessive noun in the beginning and
Yep, to
rebranded.
just Disney,
And
which
what's interesting
where we are
too
today.
is I really appreciated that rebrand and where they were going. I actually thought both concepts were fine. One that was a park about the great things of California and the inspirational things that make you want to follow your dreams, or the version of this is how Walt saw California. I like both of those, but it's the execution of it where it doesn't always make sense. Like even now with this current Walt version, it doesn't that story kind of stop after Buena Vista Street?
Yeah, I
Because
was just gonna say that. I'm like, I mean, it has
yeah,
nothing
like
to do with Pixar.
he doesn't know what the Incredibles are or the Cars Land.
It's
So
his
yeah, I
story
don't
at the
know.
beginning, and it's where his story flourished thereon.
Flourish
See?
thereon.
You
Yes,
just make up a story.
the other artists came to California and took his legacy and made more experiences.
There you go. I love it. One thing I wanted to mention, okay, couple fun fact things that I heard from the talk, right? Is the California letters, remember in front those giant letters
Yeah.
that were made out of cement and they would decorate the guts of it as different things. Like for holidays, it'd be like
The
candy cane
guts.
striped, the guts. They do all sorts of different things. There's rainbow California letters at one point. They made those purposely for people to interact with. I just never realized that they wanted people to climb all over them, and which is so different than Disney, right? Like everything else, Disney, like
Oh,
don't
I
touch, don't
figured
climb
like,
on it, don't.
yeah, I figured
Yeah,
take pictures. I didn't know they want you to climb on
they
it. That's
wanted you to
crazy.
sit on them. Like they made like the L, for instance, it's perfect to sit on, right? Like,
Oh,
and then
they
they're
it just
go
sounds like
ahead.
they wanted to do one of those things that you see at big cities now where it says like the name of the city, I Heart, and you're like put your face in the letter A
Right.
and the whole.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
They were talking about how they wanted people to feel like it's their park so they could interact and touch and feel it and
Mhm.
like touch the letters and be part of the letter and take photos and all. And then that also is free publishing because we have thousands and thousands of pictures of people buy letters in front of California Adventure, right? And I was like, I don't think I have any. I'm like, oh yeah, because there's no J. Everybody always stood by their letter of their name,
Ooh,
right? So
there's
you
no
probably don't have any
M.
either.
There's no M. I think I liked having for whatever reason I would want the whole word, but now do I even have a picture like that?
I
And
don't even think you
originally
can. There
it
would
was
always be
supposed to
people in the
be
way. I'd be frustrated.
oh the people. It's supposed to be the bottom of the postcard. Like it's supposed to look
Yeah.
like a big postcard if you could get a picture that far back. Yeah, you're right. We didn't have
Yeah, like,
iPhones in when it first opened.
right. For those of you that do not remember this edition of California Adventure, if you were to look at it from the gates of Disneyland, it looked like a classic, one of those old school vintage postcards that has like the name of the state written across, like California. So the big letters behind it, you would see the big mosaics on the side. They had these giant mosaic walls of all sorts of things from California that looked like very postcardy. And then it would travel backwards, and they made them forced perspective so that when you look at it from Disneyland, it looked like a frame that would fit in a postcard. Pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
along with that, down the middle, where we now have a little bridge going over Buena Vista Street, but now, or before, it used to be the Golden Gate Bridge, and the monorail would travel right through that, which was cool. And then even further back, it was Sunshine Plaza, and they had a giant sun with fountains in front of it, and that would be that like background piece of the postcard. So yeah, it was pretty cool, and it
Yeah,
did
the
work.
idea
Like
was neat.
yeah, um, one of the very first things they brought up was all of our favorites for old school DCA, and it's Superstar Limo.
Wow, okay.
Barry Braverman, I believe was his name. He was like the guy for the design. I think he was like executive producer or something of California Adventure. So he was like the last person it goes up to before design choices
Oh.
are made. And he gave a whole story about Superstar Limo. And this goes straight into that story of like, this is California where people come to invent things, including themselves. So it's like, you're supposed to be a rising star taking a limo and trying to get to the red carpet because you want to like network and interact with people in Hollywood, but you're getting distracted by all these other things that are pulling you in Southern California as you go along the path. And I'm like, oh, okay, okay, I can see that. I didn't
Oh.
get that either. All right. And this guy was so funny. He was like very corporate. Um, because he would can't even say without laughing. We were giggling so hard. He would say this whole thing and he would kind of have like this nice passion behind it. He'd be like, oh, Superstar Limit was made because of this and da 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 da. And here's all these things and all these facts. Okay, let's move on. And he'd be like,
Oh,
and done, cut, and scene.
no
He straight
more.
said, and let's move on. And then he kept saying, next slide, next slide. And we're like, it was like
Oh.
a little awkward. There's even a moment where one of the other Imagineers was talking kind of long-windedly about one of the topics. And there was a break in his, like a pause in his spiel. And that guy jumped back in. He goes, if you don't mind, I'm going to take over from here because we need to move this along. I was
Oh
like, oh
wow.
my God.
Maybe he's just trying
It
to
was
keep it on
so,
time. He's trying to keep
yeah,
the time.
but you gotta do that. It's like there's a whole ballroom full of people. It's like being
Oh
at one
gosh.
of the ballrooms of D23. Like it was pretty big. I was
It's
like,
interesting, these D23 spotlights, they've all felt a little bit like I got to get a peek at like a corporate event at Disney. They all have
yeah,
an
yeah.
interesting feel to them where it's like probably the first and only time they're doing this, so they don't have like a template or a rule book for this exact event, and they're kind of winging it a little bit
Well,
sometimes.
it feels to me exactly like the smaller ballrooms at D23.
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
full of nerds, people wear costumes and get all cute and crazy for it. And it's everyone sits in a room and there's a giveaway on the way out. Like it's very similar to
Wow.
the D23 format, actually. So they have done it a bunch, if you think about it that way.
Oh, I mean the exact topic. Like it's always like the one time they're doing that topic. Like
Oh, okay.
so like with the content, they've never had to fill up that time with DCA.
Right.
So and you and I know this with the podcast. It's like, oh, let's bring 50 cool things, and then they ended up only talking about like five,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
Homeboy's trying to move it on. He wants
They always,
everything
I'm
covered.
I'm here for him. He just needs to figure out a nicer way to say it. It was like
That's
getting everybody would, the
hilarious.
whole audience would, there'd be like a soft murmur and giggle every time he did it. It was
Oh
like
my
everybody was
goodness.
like, "What the hell?" But it was funny. But yeah, you're right. Like I think probably 9 out of 10 of these they have to cut it off for time. And I
Wow.
almost wanted to just be longer because I want to hear it, but I also don't want to sit there all day either. So it's like, how do we do this?
You know
But
what's another another tangent about this is I don't like when they usually have to cut Q&A short because there's so much content, and then they only get the dumbest questions from fans who just don't know how to ask a great question. And then I get so bummed because then it's done already. I'm like, oh, and not
I
that
remember
I'm
you
going to
saying that
stand up
before.
and
Your
ask
has to have
that.
value. Your question has to
Yeah, your
have value.
value. And the easiest fix is I could ask a question, but I'm like so shy and embarrassed in the moment. But I want to hear some juicy questions and answers that they've never got questioned about. Like that's the cool
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes those happen and it's like the most awkward feeling, but I'm so excited about it. I'm
Yes.
like, spill it, spill it. Okay, so moving off of that, moving on, let's move this
Let's
along.
move along here, Gen Diz.
I'm gonna keep up the pace here. So, they taught us a little bit about the Animation Academy, and he says it was, I wrote something on here that's wrong. It's in response to moms. I don't know what that meant. Anyways, the Animation Academy was in response to MGM's. It was a autocorrect. I see it.
Oh
Moms. I'm
yeah,
like, who's
MGM/Hollywood Studios has that whole working animation studios, which is now being transformed into something else after it was Launch Bay for a while. Oh, I
right?
didn't know that. So they were trying to
Yeah, I
bring
didn't
something
realize that
over
either.
from
So
the
they're trying
East
to give
Coast.
you like different ways to get you a little more involved. So, for instance, instead of watching the animators animate at the one, because it's a working studio, here it is not a working studio. So they have you do the drawing, right? Like we go to the one where we get to, what's it called? Character workshop or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And you go in,
Sourcing.
you get to draw characters, and you have an animator teaching you how to animate, or one of the artists. And they he talked specifically about that first moment you walk in the animation academy with the giant video screens and the music. He's like, it's supposed to make you just take a moment because it's dark and just like relax and like kind of be in awe for a little bit. I'm like, that's exactly what I feel every single time I walk in there. It's like air conditioned, it's dark, it's moody, all the big screens and the music. Oh, it's so good. And it's been like that since it opened. So like it still makes me feel that same feeling. So they nailed that one. Um, Also, he mentioned something called the animator's palette, which is on the cruise ships, right?
Yes.
I think maybe he misspoke because I really tried to research this and I couldn't find anything. But he was saying that there was something at some point in here that they would talk about a specific character. Like he used Mushu as an example. Like the animator would start drawing Mushu and they would talk about the evolution of Mushu, like how what our first concept it was for what Mushu would look like or act like, and then how they got to where he is now. And then as soon as they draw the now one, it comes to life, and then they talk to each other. Like the animator can then start communicating with the
Wow.
cartoon character. I know I was like, what? I don't remember this. And so I don't know, maybe it was a concept, but
I
he
wonder
definitely
if
said it was like
I
there.
wonder if the Animation Academy used to have like a show element to it.
I tried to look it up. I
Right. That's
could not find
interesting.
it.
Because it sounds weird to be a separate thing if they already have the Academy. It seems like it would be part of that.
Yeah,
Huh.
I don't remember that. He did talk a little bit about the Ursula's grotto, which was really cool.
Where
Got a
you get
big
to
cheer in the
dub,
audience from that.
lip sync.
Um, yeah. And then what else can I tell you guys about some fun stuff? Oh, Bugs Land. Um, so it's tough to be a bug opened with the park. However, not like Bugs Land wasn't part of that. Did you remember that?
Yeah, it was the bountiful farms land with like tractors and wheat
I
farms.
remember that too,
Yeah.
but wasn't that
And then
still
that
there when
turned
Bugs
into
Land was
Bugland.
there?
Yeah, that's what went away for Bugs Land. Bountiful Farms is gone for that.
I thought Bountiful Farms only went away when Cars Land came in.
No, it turned.
Anyways, it
Yeah.
was only there for a year because Bugs Land was open 1 year, 1.5 years later.
Oh, maybe it was a part of it. You know how like whenever I look back at these Disneyland like handcrafted, they show like Frontierland, but it's like multiple things now, so I can't exactly piece where the Rainbow Cavern was or the horse
Yeah.
walk thing was.
I feel like Bountiful Farms was the section, like the walkway that is now the walkway to Avengers Campus from Cars Land. So it might have been some of it still there while Bugs Land was over beyond that. But anyway, I'm not sure. I'd have to
Yeah,
double
like
check
I
that.
remember the theater for the Bug Show was a facade for something, right? Like
Yeah, and it was like right
farmland.
across the way from it,
Yeah,
and they had all the
yeah.
tractor seats and stuff out front. So either that
Was
was only there for a year and a half, or it was more bleeding out into Cars Land, which came later.
what does wait, no, I think you're right because isn't it an Easter egg that those tractor placements were replaced with Mater's Jamboree in that same spot?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. That's very cute. Good. We just solved it. But yeah, I didn't realize that Bugs Land wasn't there at opening. I had forgotten about that. It was a year and a half later they opened it, and evidently the Imagineers at the very beginning of DCA were getting a lot of people saying like, "There's not enough stuff for kids here," right? I
Mm.
remember hearing that too. And so they were inside the tree, like down in the ride. It's tough to be a bug. And they're just trying to figure out what they can do. And Bug's Life had just come out not that long before, and it was still doing really well. And sort of like, we should make a whole Bugs Land. And they just like kind of came up with the whole concept while waiting in line to watch It's Tough to Be a Bug. Then got out, drew the whole thing up, took it to the people needed to take it to get green light and or greenlit. And it was funny because they were saying usually we bring like 3 or 4 options to the table of what we can do, but we just brought this one and it hit and everybody bought it and we went for it. And I was like, okay. And a
Wow.
year and a half later, the whole land was created around, or right before the entrance
Yeah,
of
I
It's Tough
thought
to Be a
that
Bug.
was all planned. I thought they were like, "Oh, we're gonna open it with the show because the rest isn't ready."
Right.
But they came up with it later. Fascinating.
Another funny one was somebody had suggested to one of the Imagineers that they should make a land about cars because a car culture in California is so rich. There's all these car shows, it's a big deal here, and like whatever. So they're trying to come up with this whole land about cars, and they literally called it Car Land. And they had like a whole bunch of concepts drawn out for it. And then somebody came over and was like, did you know that John Lasseter is working on this movie called Cars Land or called Cars? And they're like, what? And so all of a sudden it just came together and they were able to marry all the things that they had already come up with for Cars Land with a Pixar overlay of it. Like it's perfect. So
That's
it just came
nice.
together. So Car Land became Cars Land and like just perfect. It was so cool how that worked out. One last thing I wanted to mention, and this was a weird deja vu that you had again, right? Because I
Oh,
definitely
yes.
But I'm forgetful. But I learned during this panel that uh, Paradise, no, Pacific Wharf, the lagoon in front of it, while Grizzly River Rapids is operational, they are at low tide, and when it is non-operational, Pacific Wharf is at high tide, and that's because they use that wharf area for the water storage when they drain Grizzly River Run. I thought
Clever.
that was just so crazy. I never even really realized that it's different, like low or high. Maybe
I've
I
seen
have, but I
I've
definitely didn't
seen
realize
it.
that.
I've seen it and it always bothers me because when it's on low, you could see too many of the little pipes popping out
Oh,
that
that's bad because that's low most of the year,
yeah,
right? It's
so
only
that
high
means
when
it's
it's not
yeah, and
working.
I'm always like, God, why are they always fixing the lagoon when I'm here? But now it makes more sense. It's because Grizzly's operating,
Oh my
which
gosh,
we want it
so
to, so
crazy.
fine.
All right, so that was about all the things I could remember that were really kind of fun to hear the panelists talk about. It was a really great time, as usual. As usual. My God, I still can't say it.
Love the
Um,
spotlight events. But you know what's really cool is just not long ago, just last year, we were talking about Epic Universe a lot. And California Adventure is the only park in our time where they built it from scratch until Epic Universe, where they had blank slate and built something. So it's interesting that they could take something like, hey, I'm gonna connect the Pacific Wharf to the Grizzly River so that the water system's on the same thing. Like I don't remember hearing cool things like that since like Disneyland or Magic Kingdom was being
right,
built. So that's pretty neat that they can go 25 years later already
right.
and say like we took this from a parking lot into this massive thing and we got to do it all and open it at the same time. And of course it evolved over time, but that's still like pretty cool that we got to be a part of that.
It is very cool. Good old Disneyland. And that was when we all started just going all the time. Was right around. I think that was when I got my first annual pass, was when
Yeah.
DCA opened. Ah, good times. So,
2001, I had moved to LA in
yep.
2001, same time.
That's when Danielle and I started road tripping all the time.
Yep.
It's when my like monthly visit started, which means I've been traveling down here monthly for like 25
25
years.
year anniversary.
Crazy. It took me 24 years of which to just move down here.
Do you remember when they had the walls up along the parking lot and they had little holes you could peek through to see DCA being built with
Yep.
like the mounds of
They
dirt and
they
stuff?
did that inside too. A lot of areas they would like leave little peeky holes.
That's so cool. Peeky.
Yeah, peeky holes.
Peekaboo.
Oh, speaking of Danielle, anyway, I have so many pictures, by the way, of Danielle and I spying in DCA. I love it. I should just post them. I gotta find them
Oh
again. But
yeah, I want to
there's
see
ones
that.
of her like climbing on a fence. Like we were doing shit that we would never do today. Like, and then we didn't even think it was weird. Like climbing up on fences and like looking over the top of the walls and like putting our cameras up over the edges and like all sorts of stuff. Like look like there's pictures of her at the Redwood Creek Challenge, like up on like a tan bark hill that we're not supposed to be on because there's a wall or like a fence. She like climbed over a fence, walked all the way up the hill, like peeking through the wall, like cracks in the wall and stuff. So
Wow.
funny.
I remember like this was the heyday of websites and forums like Mice Chat, speaking of our friend Dusty Sage, and I would go on there and just wait for them to post new pictures. And I remember when the roller coaster picture first showed the red tube over it, and we were like, "What is that?" It's still very unique looking to this day. But I remember these little. There was only so many blogs and message boards at that time sharing all of these
Right.
pictures and status updates. Wow.
So exciting. So while we're remembering DCA, I wanted to ask you, do you remember when your first visit was?
I my first visit was after Superstar Limo closed. So maybe a year or two after it
Year and a
opened.
half? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was your first impression?
I remember thinking it was small and very like plasticky.
Yeah,
Like
very
everything
like
felt,
Newark days in a
yeah,
way.
everything
Like,
felt like plastic, like off the shelf, and but also colorful, but not very Disney. But by that point, I had not been to Disney World either, so I only knew Disneyland, and remember thinking it didn't really feel like Disneyland. It was giving
right.
kind of knots, and I liked the knots, so it wasn't like the worst. It was just different and interesting and small.
Yeah. Yeah, I did remember feeling like this doesn't feel like Disneyland, and it that was kind of a bummer, but I wasn't like angry about it. I was just like, okay, this is different for obviously it's not they expanded Disneyland, they have a whole new park. So it's
Yeah,
got a different vibe, a different purpose. We all knew, I think they must have advertised it that way. I remember knowing when they opened it that this is the adult park, right? Like
yeah, it
this
was
is
supposed to
like
be like the
the bigger
cool park.
rides and the
Yeah,
yeah. So I'm like, okay, it's not going to be storybook land ever, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah. And it opened, okay, if I remember correctly, it opened with a handful of things that I was really excited about. So I never been to Disney World, so I was excited that Tower of Terror was coming to DCA. It's the first time I'll be able to ride it. The coaster looked amazing, still is. And then I remember some of the thrill rides like Maliboomer gone. But I remember being excited that, oh, I could go to Disneyland with my cousins and ride something like a Six Flags ride in that same visit.
hmm
Yeah.
yeah. Yep, had a little bit of both. I think that was the only ride, huh? Tower of Terror that would be something that we could do in Disney World.
We're like, oh my God, it's coming
Can't remember.
here.
Oh, another thing that they talked about in that panel that I realized I never did was they had a bunch of restaurants that I never went to, like the soap opera restaurant,
Yeah.
and they had like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire experience or something as well. I never
Yeah.
did. So a
Oh,
lot of
you
those things on
didn't?
that
See,
one
that was
block.
gone by the time I went too. You know what came from Disney World also? Also from MGM, Muppet Vision 3D.
Muppet Vision
Yeah.
3D. Oh, bring it back, please.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so there were a few things they moved over. Do they have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in Disney World? I know they had some of
They
those
had
game shows.
theirs was American Idol. I don't know if they ever had
Okay.
Millionaire.
Yeah, I never got to see what that even looked like in there. I want to go look that up now.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, with all the lights that turn down. Oh, that's
Right?
pretty cool.
That is cool. Do you have any stories you want to share specific to DCA?
Ooh, DCA, so many, but I'm just gonna quickly go through the ones that come straight to mind, which is the parties in the back lot.
Oh
Those
yeah.
those are like they're just always so unreal that they're happening and
Yes,
really
they're like
well.
raves.
Yeah, they're like raised at Disneyland. And usually it comes with a day at Disneyland Park and then we would go there. So it was like a fun way to close out the day and the night. And they had some pretty cool themes like the Tron one and then of course the Alice in Wonderland one. So those lots of cool memes there. And then I have this one memory that I'm thinking of right now of me and my cousin and my sister and my friend Joe Rio, where we all bought matching black Pirates of the Caribbean hoodies. And we were like just like running and having a good time taking pictures on what is now San Francisco Bridge,
Uh-huh.
but the Golden Gate Bridge. Like I still remember that day. It was like a fun crisp day where we had like our hoodies and it was one of those moments where you're like, oh, this is what DCA is for. It's for more of like we're hanging out like at the pier, at
It's
the
like the
boardwalk,
mall or
at the
something.
mall. Yeah.
The gathering place, the boardwalk. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
cute.
yeah, but yeah, lots of memories there, and every time it changed and every time there was something new, like when you and I went to Avengers Campus opening, like that was a pretty
hmm
exciting thing.
Super
Yeah.
exciting.
What about
I remember
you?
I went there for the opening of Ariel's Undersea Adventure with Joy. Shout out Joy, she's just
Oh,
here.
yeah.
And we got to meet the voice of Ursula, Pat Carroll, which was really cool.
Very cool.
I also remember this is a sad one, but I was real homesick when I moved to Arizona, and I would still come to Disneyland just as often, if not. I think I went to Disneyland even more often when I lived in Phoenix. And I remember going, excuse me, to see Golden Dreams, and I remember crying and being like, California is beautiful. Like, because they just like highlight how like many microclimates we have and all these different types of topography and all this like you can see everything in California. And I was stuck in like desert over there in Arizona, even though we have or Arizona had stuff too, right? But like not in my head at the time. I was like, why did I ever leave? I was felt like that. Um, and I don't know, there's just I remember I had my first Disney regret there. I did not see World of Color for a long time because it was just so crazy when it first opened. And then by the time I was ready to like watch it, they had already done a like they cut back some scenes and some stuff,
Oh,
And I was so mad. I'm like, oh, that was like my first learning experience. Like you just have to try, you have to get in early or they're gonna change things, cut scenes, like whatever they're gonna do for cut for time, cut for
always.
budget.
You got to be the first. We've learned that
Yep.
more recently.
Yeah. And then of course I have my Superstar limo memory, which I don't know if I how many times I went during 2001 since that was like right when I first started coming a lot to the parks. But I had a pretty strong memory of the first shop, which is a whole long story, but it's funny. But it made me like really remember a lot of the ride because of that. Uh, the first shop was one of the things in the attraction. It
Fur
wasn't like
shop,
yeah.
like
There was
fur
like they're
coats.
selling like fur coats. Yeah. It was this
Oh,
whole
okay. Yeah,
inside
like
joke we
that. Huh?
had. So uh it was just a wacky ride and the whole park felt kind of wacky at that time. So it like made sense to me. But yeah, some good times in DCA. And then they have when you start thinking about how far it's come, it's crazy. It's only been open 25 years, right? Not 70 like Disneyland, but they have like changed it up so much to
A
like
lot.
get caught up to where they should be. So
Yeah.
they've done a good job. Um, quickly, we're high on time, which of course we talked earlier about how we always end up doing on these episodes. But I want to throw a quick pop quiz at you.
Yeah. I love it.
All right. You have to tell me, I'm going to name an attraction that's currently at DCA, and you have to tell me what it was before.
Oh, okay.
And it might be, think about the space this attraction takes up more than the type of attraction. So
Okay.
sometimes it'll be a totally different thing by now, but like what used to be in that footprint or near that footprint. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Twilight Zone, Hollywood Tower of Terror.
Perfect. Perfection. Pixar Pal Around.
Okay, so it had did it have only one name change or two? Can I ask
Two.
you? Okay. So I think it was originally the Sun Wheel and then
Yep.
Mickey's Fun Wheel.
Yep. You got
Okay.
it. I always forget about the sun wheel and I'll see a picture of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
it was like a sun at some point. So crazy. And shout out to Brandy. I had put a poll up on Instagram and I was like, what do you call her? And it's a picture of Pixar's Pal Around at this point. And I did not include a fourth option, which she shouted out to me. And I was like, you're right. So I redid the poll and I included Sun Wheel, Mickey's Fun Wheel, Pixar Pal Around, and Wheel of Death. Because
Oh,
that's
yeah, people do not like that one type of cabin that moves, the swinging gondola.
so she also shared that her group, it was like 2 to 3 people got paired with another group of 2 to 3 people most times on the swinging gondolas. Can you
Yeah,
believe that?
always. I just went
Really? I don't remember that
Yeah, I went
ever.
last year with one other person, it's just two of us, and they put us with someone, and it ruined my entire
It's
romantic
so
plans that I had. I was so mad.
it's so awkward of
It's
a
so
space to
awkward.
be with another group because you're just in it for so long.
And you're facing each other, and like everyone's trying to take
Yeah,
pictures, but you're strangers in it. Yep, yep.
it's way too weird. I don't remember getting paired with other people, and now it makes me want to stay away from it even more.
Yep, you got to go with
Um,
a group of four, I guess, to avoid
right,
it.
yeah, get enough space taken up. But she told me she was in it with another group. She said her
Uh,
group was 2 to 3, so was theirs. So almost
uh,
6 people in that little
too
thing.
much.
And somebody was puking the whole time on their in
Ew.
their group. Can
Ew.
you imagine
Oh, wow.
being stuck with a stranger tossing their lunch?
Oh my God. It would
Like,
make me
oh my
throw up.
God. And it's so quiet. Like I just, oh my God. It's too much. I felt so bad for her. So shout out, Brandy. Thanks for sharing that story. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that. All right, next, Silly Symphony Swings.
That used to be the Orange Stinger.
Hey, Goofy Sky School.
That used to be Mulholland Madness.
Yeah, Incredicoaster.
That used to be California Screamin'.
Killing it. Jesse's Critter Carousel.
Wow, so many things have changed.
So much. And
Um,
this is even a list of all of them. So
okay, I'm thinking this one is a little fuzzy for me, but I'm thinking it was King Triton's carousel.
King Triton's Carousel of the Sea.
Oh, okay.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to
I wasn't
you.
finished. You cut me off. I was gonna
Oh,
say,
sorry.
oh,
So sorry. Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue.
Superstar Limo.
Um, Mickey's PhilharMagic.
Muppet Vision 3D.
Ariel's Undersea Adventure.
The California's Golden Dream starring Whoopi Goldberg.
Ooh, Emotional Whirlwind.
Flick's Fun Fair Rider swinging. Wait,
No.
wait, hold on. Oh, okay. That's
Oh,
a trick question.
that is interesting.
I like
That's a
that.
location. Okay, okay,
Okay.
you got
So
that.
it's
I
yeah,
like
it's
that.
two things. It's Flicks Flyers and Maliboomer.
Oh my God, that's a good one.
Double.
That's the only one like that, huh?
Yeah, they reused,
That's
reduced,
interesting.
recycled. I love it.
Oh my God. Web slingers.
Oof. Wait a minute. Now I'm starting to that area is where I'm getting confused today. That whole area over there. I think I think Spider-Man wait, hold your horses. Was it something before?
It's tough to be bug. That was it.
Oh, okay. So the Bugsland area cleared out. Okay, and that was the old theater. See, I'm mixing up my timelines. I didn't know Bugs the theater was there
Oh, did
all
I
the way up
ask
into.
you backwards? What did I ask you? Web slingers. Whoops,
No,
I just
yeah,
gave you the answer. Yeah.
that one
Yeah, I
was
went right
hard.
on top of where it's tough to be a bug was. Ah. And then some other fun, like
Wait,
more
I like that
location-y
because
ones.
similar to Maters, they put a talking tractor over the tractors. They put Spider-Man where the bug is.
Still bugs in Bugs
Yeah.
Land. Yep.
Oh, and you get Ant-Man over there doing his bug stuff with. Oh, they also repurposed, I think, Christmas lights, oversized Christmas lights from Bugs Land is still there now, somewhere near Pim's
Yeah,
technology.
because yep, the expanding stuff, right?
So cool.
And they have the Bountiful Farms Easter egg inside of Pim's. I think it's like a carton of milk or
Inside.
something. It's like
Look
something
at
from
that.
Bountiful Farms.
DCA is so grown now that it has Easter eggs of its past.
I know. Yeah, you're right. And they have like lots of fun stuff in like their Magic Key Terrace. You can go up there and have drinks called the Sun Wheel and all these old school names from old
Oh,
DCA.
I like that.
Yeah. Um, Last thing I wanted to mention was another memory,
Wait, I
and
want
this
more
was
game. I like the
okay.
game.
There's only a few more, but you already kind of said those. Like Mater's Junkyard Jamboree was one of them.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
I thought it was just like tractors.
Bountiful Valley Farm.
Bountiful. Yeah, okay.
And then Ghirardelli's Soda Fountain.
Oh, wait a minute. What do you mean? Isn't that still there?
No. Wait, yes, that's what's currently there. You have to tell me what used to be there.
Okay. Ooh, I don't think I know it. Okay, let me ask you this. I don't know which is still to. Okay, the tortillas went somewhere.
That's
I
that's what
for
used to be there.
really okay. See,
Yep.
I thought the
Tortillas are
tortillas.
gone.
I thought they went away for the sourdough. That was something else.
No, the sourdough and the tortillas were together. So you could go get a piece of bread and a tortilla at the same
I
time back
remember
in the
that,
day.
and I think Rosie O'Donnell narrated it or something.
The sourdough
Yeah.
one, yep. And Mission Tortilla Factory was another great memory. If you got a birthday pin, which I think is the first fraudulent thing I did in my life, was get birthday buttons at Disneyland because they give you a whole pack of 10 free fresh tortillas. And
Fresh,
you'd always
warm.
wait for the flour ones because you take them back. Well, at least I like the flour ones at the time. You take them back and you go over to Bengal barbecue and then you make a wrap out of your skewers. So
Wow.
good. Disneyland hack.
Cross over the
Turning us
promenade.
all into liars and cheaters. Oh my goodness. So, one last thing I wanted to mention is about D23, since we talked about their Spotlight series today. Michael Vargo, he's such a doll. He let us know a little info at this panel, nowhere else. I love this. We felt so special. He said, a lot of you are asking when are D23 Expo tickets going on sale? And he told us when. We're the first people to know. What? So he said information will be coming out soon. He didn't really give us too much information, but what it sounded like is like the tickets are going to be a little different than last year, and it's going to be a little different format even. He's like, it's going to be bigger and better than ever, of course. So we'll see what that means. They might be reiterating on how they're doing the D23 Expo. I don't know. But he said tickets will go on sale early April.
Oh, hold on. Breaking news. You heard it here first on the Disney Holic Show. D23 Expo tickets will be going on sale in early April. We heard directly from Michael Vargo. Yeah,
From
very
the
cool.
horse's mouth. Is that what they say? I'm
Horse's
calling him
mouth.
a horse now. That sounds messed up.
Horse's mouth. Inside scoop. This is the thing that you get to go when you do these D23 spotlights. You get the real people from
You do.
D23, the actual staff. It's so cool.
You get the breaking news. I love it. All right.
Well, aside from that breaking news, we had such a fun episode talking all about Disney California Adventure. Now I'm second guessing. Did we ever find out what Hollywood Studios is?
No fact checker.
Fact checker. And then on today's episode, we also talked a little bit about the Gumball Rally. We'll talk more about that when Dusty Sage is on our show. And then not just DCA's anniversary, but you also shared all the cool things that you saw at that D23 Spotlight series.
And here to verify, it is Disney's Hollywood studio with an apostrophe S.
Different. So it's the opposite?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
yeah,
opposite.
yeah.
Well, thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed episode 274 of the Disney Holic Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disney Holics.
And if you'd like to get in touch, send us a DM on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.